What's up, guys, and welcome back to Frontboards and Four Baggers. I'm Eddie with Cornhole Bag Reviews, and we got Corbin with the smaller YouTube channel, Corbin's Cornhole Reviews.
Wow. Wow.
I haven't said it yet because I passed you. I had to plug it one time in this.
That's how we're starting it off. Holy crap. All right.
You guys don't realize how much shit he talks about me offline and in his posts and everything, so I got to throw some shade once in a while.
Constantly.
We're up on episode 29. It's been another month since the last podcast, but today we kind of figure we actually have an interesting spotlight today. We're going to talk about all 6 of the new Buffalo Boards Pro Series, which, yes, you didn't hear me incorrectly. They have 6 new Pro Series for 2023. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, we'll kind of get into. I think it's maybe too much of the same. But I definitely think if you want to be able to throw Buffalo Boards bags, you will no longer have an issue finding any kind of bag that you would like from their old. If you include their old bags and their new bags, I think they have something like 10 or 12 Pro Series at this point.
They got quite a few.
Series. So they've basically been like, hey, we're just going to take all the materials and flip them around and use every single one in every combination we can find out. So we're going to talk about all those today. They were gracious enough to send me and Corbin a really cool care package, probably the best care package that I've ever gotten.
It's a good one.
A bunch of different stuff. But we're going to talk about a bunch of the bags. So we're going to start off with the bag that I personally think is the best new bag that I have thrown that fits me, that I template and everything, is the Nomad. So the Nomad is very similar to a lot of bags. Oh, you got a pink one? That's dope.
Yeah,
I really like the gold, but damn, the pink is cool.
Oh, the gold's cool. The pink's pretty tight, though.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the pink's super sick.
Yeah, I like the pink quite a bit.
Yeah, that is really cool. Buffalo Boards definitely has never slacked on designs from any standpoint of the designs, especially the Deadhead, obviously, people have seen. But the Nomad, very similar to the Lucky Bags O'Doyle, very similar to the Titan Thrasher, very similar to a lot of companies that come out that basically it's the Surefire slow side, Viking fast side, 7-speed, Viper slow side, that 7-speed soft material that you've heard us talk about a billion times. This combo makes a ton of sense. Surefire was super popular last year. Everyone and their mother came out with a Surefire. But the fast side, for a lot of people that want that sticky slow side, the reason they're throwing the Surefire is just a lightning fast side and doesn't work for them. So this kind of gives you that middling speed bag. You still have that 4 or 5 speed slow side. Now you break it down to a 7-speed fast side. Uses disc fill, so it's not going to be super bouncy. It's a fairly friendly 4-7 bag. Biggest negative, obviously, to Surefire that everyone's always talked about is that any humidity, it becomes a glue stick. And that's kind of the negative with this fast side as well, is with the Surefire fast side, you have something to do with humidity. It's quick enough. This also kind of glues up in humidity. So this is definitely not a humidity bag. This is we got fast boards and I don't want to throw carpet kind of bag. So in your experience, I mean, I'm sure you've thrown the O'Doyle, you've thrown the SW bag called Rehab.
I actually haven't thrown the O'Doyle.
You've thrown the Rehab.
I have thrown the Rehab, though. Yeah, for
sure. So you're similar with this combo, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I know the combo. These are actually brand new. I haven't even thrown them yet. Just they haven't made their way into my review rotation yet. And you'll see I only have 3 of the bags on me right now out of the 6. The other ones are down in the basement. If I've done a video on them, they're down there. So that's just what I do.
Right.
Videos are done and they go into bin.
It's full. Trust me.
I know you do. I know you do. But no, it's a really good material. It's a good combination. It's really good indoors in the winter.
Right.
That's what I like to say. Low humidity situations with typically quicker boards. For the beginning of the day into the middle of the day, you're probably in good shape. Toward the end of the day, when the boards start to stick up a little bit because all the people and stuff, you might be switching bags.
Yeah, I don't think they're playing.
You just might be switching bags, but it's a really good combo for a hard thrower. Right. I'll say that. Those guys that chuck bags, whatever, you might kind of have to be flat on it though, just because that slow side.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely think this is I don't want to throw let's say forgiving carpet on the slow end of the spectrum, like Viper R, Pink Dolphin, my Avalanche that I throw, right? That's like hey, same board conditions, right? I need something slower. If you don't like throwing a friendly carpet, this is probably your other kind of end of the spectrum, right? Surefire, but maybe you don't want that fast of a fast side. It's basically like, do you like Surefires, but sometimes you flip it over and you don't know how to do that soft, gingery throw, and you just want to be able to still throw firm on the fast side? This is kind of where that option comes in for you. Template size, that's something we're going to get into definitely with all the bags. And in my opinion, smaller, I would say Titan bag kind of feel to them.
This one feels a little better to me than some of the others.
This one I agree and I think it's
does.
because both the materials being softer when they break in, they're just a little looser when they sew.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like when I sew up a set of like Surefire materials, they just end up a little bit floppier. It's just that softer material. I want to say I wouldn't be surprised if they use different templates. I mean, they obviously have the machinery to do so, to switch some stuff up. I also wouldn't be surprised if they just use the same template because it's easier in production to use the same thing over and over again. But I would say, especially the carpet bags that we'll get into, very, very on the small template size. And the reason I say Titan, if anyone's thrown a Titan Venom, very similar. This one maybe feels a little bit looser. Titan Venoms are pretty puffy, which is pretty feel to the other bags as well. But this one I would say is the most throwable for my personal hand feel. Still has a good flop to it without being crazy floppy. Feels nice in hand, but not super tight. So the Nomad and price point on all their bags, they have random sale. Like right now it says it's on sale, but I feel like they're always $100. Sometimes they're 120. So it's around that 100 to 120 plus shipping on their website.
Yeah, they're like, I want to say I grabbed some Fallouts. I grabbed Fallout X's, I don't know, a month ago or something. And the in-stock designs were like 125 and then the clearance ones were like 110.
Sure. I was just on the website and I know they're having it. Maybe it's a sale right now, but they're 99.
It might be less than that even, which is, I mean, that's great.
$100, but $100 Pro Series bag. But again, Nomad was probably my personal favorite that I threw, and I'll have a review of the Nomad coming out in the next week or so, I believe. Well, obviously we'll have reviews of all these. The purpose of this episode... You still
review bags?
Once in a blue moon.
Okay.
But no, I mean, the purpose of this episode in particular is we really want to give Buffalo some love and try to give you guys kind of a spotlight of all the different bags that they've come out with. Obviously, 6 different lines is going to take me and Corbin respectively time to put stuff out with all the other stuff we're doing. So if we can just give you guys at least a first look kind of thing before you guys see how it throws, give you guys some ideals. And I mean, we talk about bags so much, I could probably explain, hey, it's like this, that in like 3 minutes, you know?
Sure.
And then the review is kind of like, here's how it throws, but everyone knows I suck at cornhole. So what does it really matter watching me throw?
True story. True story.
Still better than you somehow. But
not a true story.
You said true story. I was just filling in the story. I don't know.
We're back to that.
All right. Yeah. Whatever. Mr. 3K subs.
Whatever.
So then we'll move on to
3640.
Okay. 5,000. Thanks everybody. I just hit 5K. Thanks for all the
congratulations
support.
on that.
It is crazy. I was like, my
that
wife,
is awesome.
My wife was the one that told me. She's like, you just hit 5K. I'm like, it's sad that I didn't even know that was coming.
It just goes to show that clickbait works.
I haven't clickbaited in a long time.
Whatever, you clickbait everything.
I just decided to make a tutorial and you didn't. That's the only difference.
Well, yeah.
And also, I called him today, and he's like, I edit for like 3 minutes. I'm like, no wonder nobody watches your shit. He's like,
wow.
Well, I don't put any effort into it, so I don't expect. Oh, whatever.
Hey, listen, and those who can't teach.
Yeah,
so
right. You don't get both. You don't get both sides.
Your
of the
tutorials.
coin. You don't get to be lazy in editing and get more people to watch. It doesn't work.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good.
All right.
Not lazy in editing. I'm efficient.
Oh, efficient, right? Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah. He records 4 times because he throws so bad.
That's not true.
Definitely not a neighbor issue. Okay, let's move on to the next bag here. I could talk crap to Corbin for the next hour, but I know you guys are here for the Buffalo Boards.
Easily.
Let's talk about the Instinct. So the Instinct, this is definitely on the tiny side. I mean, it is.
I like your design on those.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine were just black and gold. I like that a lot.
Oh, nice. These, it's funny because they look kind of, not floppy, but they look normal. But in hand, I mean, they're just a very tight bag. I mean, I got tiny hands. I can reach all the way across the bag. I mean, it's definitely on the smaller.
So mine were smaller, but they were still kind of floppy at the same time.
Right. I don't even have any other bags. I don't have any Titan bags. I like, because this is definitely on the Dragon Bag Beast, like the smallest that it can legally be, I think.
Oh, it's there. Yeah.
In terms of like, I don't think it could be smaller. And that goes to all the carpet bags. So again, if you like old Viking, or like, you know, Vikings kind of went through that stage where they were really puffy for a little while and now they're a little bit bigger again. If you like that really puffy bag in your hand, like granted this is disc fill, so it's going to be friendly. This, I mean, you'll get a handle on it. That's for sure.
Mine were not puffy. And that's the one thing I actually said, because that review's already out for me. Mine were not puffy. I don't know. My instincts.
See, maybe puffy's the wrong word, because like it's not.
Yeah, I think puffy's the wrong word. Yeah,
it's not like super fat. It's just tiny. Like it's
Correct.
just a small bag.
It's just small and just kind of floppy.
But it's not
yep.
thin though. It's like a
No,
solid handle tiny bag.
No.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
But speed wise, so you're looking at that hybrid carpet, Neptune carpet, Sure Shot Destroyer carpet. That
OG2s, Combats, Kangas.
Takes a really long time to break in. When it breaks in, plays super sticky. Carpet. And then you're looking at Cat 3 slow side. So you're looking at the back side of Viking fast side. So it's a little bit softer, a little bit smoother, sticks up even a little quicker than Viking. So this is like, I mean, on the website, they call it a 5.7. I say this is like a 4 to 6. I could even say when you even break this in though, I could call this a 3.5, 3.6 when it gets sticky.
Depends.
I mean, this carpet gets really sticky. And this fast side can stick up fast. This is the same as Widow fast side as well. So if you're used to throwing like a Widow, which obviously people know I'm not the biggest Widow guy because I personally think that material as a fast side makes it clog. I found these, because they're tiny, they don't clog as bad using that fast side. They're not like, they don't like tend to grip as much because they're tiny. If you could throw a smaller bag, I think they drip in really well. They airmail super easily because they're so tiny.
Yes.
I struggled to and also, I don't know if you can see in the corners, they're very round, like Vortex template round, a little bit rounder than average, I would say. I had trouble always grabbing. Like I would hit and spin them a lot rather than collect them super, super easily. Maybe just because a little bit tinier, it's like a smaller target to hit. I also found like when you block with them, you really got to be center because it's pretty easy to get around them. As they don't take up a ton of the hole. Right, a ton of the board. Same $100 price point and full disc fill. So,
yes.
Again, I'd say this is more on the slower speed rating. So I'm on board with this one in terms of like adding a different opinion. They had the Fallout and I think this is the same carpet as M1. Do you know for sure? Does M1? Yeah, M1 uses the hybrid, but they use that faster fast side. So this is kind of like their really slow end of the spectrum. Trying to fill out that void of someone who wants to throw really, really hard. I assume with this smaller template, they can flop and roll easier than a floppier template.
I had a little trouble with them.
You just can't roll.
That's part of it.
But I'm sure Tony Smith could roll these like nothing. But he could probably roll floppy game changers.
Yes.
But what's your opinion when you reviewed them?
It was mostly a template issue with me. They were just a little small for me. Like you're saying, the corners are definitely pretty round, which I don't really mind. I don't mind a round corner, square corner.
I like
whatever.
shelters. I like Vortex.
I don't actually care the corners on the bags. It's whatever. To me, they did collect decent. They airmail absolute cake. It's just that combo that I don't really love. It's just you have that really slow carpet. I think you need that 8 fast side with it.
Right.
So, and that's why Combats, OG2s. I mean, the Beast did a 7th fast side, but whatever. It's Kanga 7th fast side, same deal. But it's still just it's not really active to me. That carpet is typically paired with a really active fill. I kind of like that they did the disc with it because it makes it a little more forgiving, a little easier to throw. It almost makes it a little slower because of that, though.
Right.
So it's definitely a hard thrower's bag that likes carpet. And I guess if you look at it in that sense, it makes sense to have the fast side like that because it's going to be for a hard thrower.
Yeah.
So a hard thrower doesn't need a 7 or an 8 fast side. They're going to be just fine with that 6. They're going to collect. They didn't really clog bad on me by any means.
No,
they play
smaller,
nice.
So, yeah.
They definitely play nice. It's just not exactly my style of bag.
I would say I think me and you are in agreement that we both struggle with 6.7, 6.6, 5.6 speed bags in terms of understanding the point per se. Because in my opinion, and I know you're the same way, I push with slow side unless I have to push with fast side.
Depends on the situation.
Right. But like I'm saying, if I go first bag block, second bag, I'm throwing slow side a little harder and either pushing them both together or pushing one in, right?
Yeah.
I'm not just flipping it over right away. So like for me, I like having that 8-9 speed fast side where it's like, all right, I got to push 3 bags. I got to sneak in a small hole. I got to try to like just loft it nicely and flip the corner or something or sneak around. That's when I'm flipping it over. So I'm fine with I'm fine with even a 3-speed slow side that I'm throwing super, super hard, and it's just like, okay, end of the round, loft a little fast side, hit it up, be a little finesse with it. Or even throw it hard and push through 4 bags, you know, what it is. So when I'm having something that's a 6-7, I'm like, well, why would I ever flip it over? Isn't it the same thing? You know, like that's like in my brain, I'm like, well, it's the same kind of bag, you know. And I think I said the same thing in my review of some of the other stuff coming up. But either way, the Instinct, same for me, just a tad small for my hand. I think if you like that smaller templated bag, like pretty small, and you throw it like throwing really, really hard, option for you here. But yeah, that's the Instinct. All right, next we got the Splash. So the Splash, you don't have.
I did not get the Splash, no.
So here's the Splash. So Splash is an interesting one. Uses a herringbone, but it's not not Wizard, and it's more of like I'd say it's definitely a polyester herringbone in terms of like.
Is it the Fallout X herringbone?
No, that's Wizard as well. It's softer. It's Wizard. I promise. It just doesn't have the backing. BG has to back it. 90% sure at least. Might not be, but I'm pretty sure.
Sorry, you totally just cut out. So I was just sitting there like.
No, I'm 90% sure the Fallout is Wizard just without the backing, which makes it a little thinner and softer.
They just feel different to me, but whatever.
Maybe.
It's herringbone. That's fine.
I'm sure it's from the same.
I was just
same
asking
family.
a question.
But this stuff's definitely different. They call it a 7/8 speed. Okay, quick tangent. Manufacturers confuse me where like you use the same fast side on 4 different bags and you call it different speeds. Like I get you don't want to call it a 7/7. You don't want to call it a 7/7 because that would, you know, like not make sense or look bad. But like it's the same as like the Fury, the Grind, the Nomad. It's on the Crush. Like you got all these bags and they all say 7. Why are you calling this one an 8?
Yep.
It doesn't make sense to me. So
yeah, and do you get that question all the time? Sorry, little side tangent here, but do you get that question all the time where someone's like, well, what speed is this? And you tell them and they go, well the site says.
Yeah, the website says this every time. And I'm like, why did you ask?
Honestly, like no disrespect. I don't care what the site says. I'm going by what the material is.
I built my own speed chart. I'll put the link in the description to that if you guys want to see it. I built my own speed chart just because I was like, all right, everything that says 5.8, Surefire materials. Everything that says 6.9, Pro Sniper materials. So it's just like I don't care if it like I loved so Roy Norton from 710 made a post the other day that about the deja vus or something and about his drop, and the whole bottom of the post was plays like a 4.7 in Massachusetts, 5.8 in Arizona. He's like 2.4 when it's raining, 6.10 when it's windy.
That's amazing.
And wrote like 30 things, and I was just like, true, that's very true. And then he's like, 5.12 if you use too much softener. It's just like,
that's hilarious, dude.
I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how speeds work. So that's why
good for him.
I generalize, right, in a general speed rating. But we call this a 7. It's the Viking fast side. Same soft fast side as all the other bags. Slow side plays like a 6.7. Kind of similar to the other bags, but it's like I guess you could call it a carpet. I mean, you can even see it's starting to pill like a like a polyester material. Like a softer material.
That's not Fallout X carpet, just so you know.
No, this is not Fallout X carpet. I broke up when I said that. It's not close. It's a polyester.
Oh,
it's a polyester herringbone for sure. It's not.
That's when you broke up.
It doesn't even feel. It doesn't even feel like carpet. It's not even really soft.
Gotcha.
It's more like.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'd say like 6-7 speeds, not 7-8 speeds. But yeah, it's kind of like a faster herringbone polyester slow side that I've never felt in any other bag, with the Viking fast side. Disc fill.
That's really interesting then, because that's almost the same as the Fury.
Fury does use Wizard carpet though.
I know, but speed-wise, it's pretty damn close.
Yeah, nearly identical.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
But so this is kind of I'd say a less carpety carpet, I guess. Okay. Like a more, hole friendly. Again, I would say of all the carpet bags, it feels pretty close to the Fury, I guess, actually. It's definitely the same template as the Fury. But you could tell, so I used wrinkle guard on all mine just because it's faster. The Furies with the Wizard carpet, definitely soft, like you could feel the carpet softened up. This is more denser. Like it's not as soft as the car. It didn't like it's still soft, but you could tell it's not like the full polypropylene sole side and more polyester in it. Like definitely has that grit in it. So this is definitely kind of a hole friendlier, less kicky carpet per se with disc fill.
I got you.
But yeah, I would say yes, very similar to the Fury, very similar to the Crush in terms of speed. The Crush we'll get into in a sec, I think is like the Nomad in terms of, I think it's a little floppier because of those materials combos. But again, it's just kind of a faster carpet and without a crazy fast push shot. I know they had the Deadhead 5.9, they had the Ambush 7.9, they had the Fallout X 9. They all use that Surefire Pro Sniper fast side on every single
M1 4.8.
Right. Well, but it still used the Surefire fast side. Then
for sure.
Every single one used that material for the fast side of every single one of their bags.
Conflict
and now they're
and
now they're coming out and they're like, all right, we're not going to use it at all. Except
Here's
for
the
hype, which we'll get into. But we're just going to use Viking fast side, flipped of it or normal on every single bag line. And that's basically what we're getting. While I understand, because you don't want everything to have the 9 fast side, me personally, I think every bag should have the 9 fast side. I put the 9 fast side on every single one of my bags.
8 or 9 for me, for sure.
Yeah, just because, again, I just like having a fast side. That's me personally. But, this one, I think it's just kind of in the same slot. And that's kind of, as we get further into this podcast, you're going to understand a lot of these bags fulfill the same purpose. If you're a middling speed thrower, throws it a little bit harder, it's going to come down to what do you like the feel of in your hand. This is definitely less small than the Instinct I was just holding, just even feeling in my hand. It has the same kind of handle to it, but definitely not as tight around my hand. Again, I don't want to use the word puffy because neither of them are puffy. Just feels a little bit bigger in my hand, a little floppier. Not necessarily big per se, but big for this lineup we're talking about. More Nomad-y, more hype that you probably felt is probably a little bit more on this medium size bag,
I gotcha.
not small. So again, kind of like this synthetic carpet with Viking Fast is kind of the splash. Haven't thrown these things a ton. When I have thrown them, they've been fairly forgiving. It's probably the carpet bag in the bunch that I'm the most comfortable throwing. Carpet bag, just because it's a little bit bigger in my hand. But yeah, that's the splash. Now we'll get into the Fury. So Fury.
Ooh, Fury.
Transition from the splash because it's very close to the same bag.
I quite liked the Fury.
Right. This one, the template feels very similar to me as the splash in terms of I could throw this. It doesn't feel too tight in my hand. Feels decent in my hand. It's got Wizard Carpet with Viking Fast Side. So this is Warlock materials. Disc fill, though. So I'd say it does feel so similar to me than a Warlock in my hands just because of the tightness.
It's a lot thinner to me. Warlocks
depends on the
that
Warlock
I had
you get,
were,
though.
Yeah, my Warlocks were pretty
because you had and you had the original ones.
I did. I had the pro-only Warlocks,
Because the new ones, once they had to put the backing on that slow side because they were popping after the Wizards, they got slightly thinner because they couldn't... If they had the same template with that backing, they would just be an even bigger puffball. So my Warlocks were very similar to this in terms of feel in the hand.
Okay.
Obviously with the BG fill, bouncier. This is that friendly fill. So this is basically a Warlock that has disc fill.
Fair enough.
So it plays good. I mean, there's people that throw Warlocks.
It did.
Right?
It did. I already recorded this one, so I quite like them. So this is actually my favorite out of the bunch.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I know, kind of weird, but the only hang up I have in it is that late day tournament situation. Because I went for doubles with my partner. I played singles, and then I was playing doubles, and we were trying to settle in on a bag. And I was like, the Furies might be perfect, right? We're throwing them to the slow sides of money. It's great. I flipped over to fast.
Right.
It just hit the brakes.
Right.
And I was like, crap. And if I had Fallout X at the time, that's what would have been the better choice.
Right.
Fallout
X is definitely a slightly bigger template and even thinner, though, than these.
Yeah, it's so funny how subjective this all is. Mine are not at all.
Really? Because mine were
Mine
so
are actually
thin.
mine are a little puffier than the Furies were.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
they're like perfect. I love them.
Nice.
But the Fury, I mean, it's a good material. It's good combos. It's just, it stays in that theme of dry dry, quicker situations.
See, and the weird part about this bag though is this carpet actually stays at like a 5-6 most
No matter
of the
what.
time.
Mm-hmm.
But then the fast side this is the reason I don't like Viking fast side. Same reason I didn't like Warlocks. If I flip it over to push, it actually bounces more than the slow side.
Correct. And I was having to throw
fast side
too
material
hard.
just bounces because you got to throw it so hard to push. They hit and just flip off the board because they don't have any kind of slickness to them.
And I was considering just going like all slow side with everything because it's going to push through stuff. It's going to be fine. It's going to be cool, whatever. When I have to throw it that hard, they tend to flip over each other.
Right.
And then the fast side would land on the hole and it would not move.
Right. And that's kind of like, again, with the Fallout X.
That was just my issue.
Yeah. If you're going to use this carpet and this fill, I like the Fallout X because you got the fast side.
I do too.
It just it slinks around, it swoops around in the back, it'll push through anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Fallout X I thought was a great bag. I think it is a great bag. Really, really well. But either way, I mean, this is just if you like Warlocks, very similar to
and I like the Fury. I mean, the Fury feels so good in the hand.
Right, it does.
It's just so soft. It comes out of your hand so natural. It's just it's a good bag. It's just a dry conditions, quick boards kind of bag.
Right. So again, 6-7 speed disc fill, $100.
Yep.
That's the Fury. But yeah, the Fury, solid bag. Grind. All right.
Grind.
The tiniest one of the bunch.
And that's funny. It's not my tiniest one.
Dude, in your hand, it looks like a mini bag.
Yeah, well, you should have seen the Furies.
You said the Furies weren't tiny.
No, my Furies kind of were. My Fallout X's are not.
Oh. That's the weird part, though. These are kind of floppy.
Yours are a little more wrecked than mine.
Oh, wrinkle guard. But mine, they're kind of floppy, but, they're so tiny.
I guess mine are pretty.
How
they're
still... I grab, any bag that I own and, they're so tiny. But I mean,
they're a little smaller. They're definitely the puffiest of the bunch. I will say that because I was talking to Mike about them, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna have to give these grinds a ton of time.
Yeah.
And he was like, you got to throw them a lot. You got to get them loosened up a little bit, because they're pretty puffy. Because I sent him a picture of 2 bags just stuck together in the hole. I went for just a push, a little baby step out push, and the 2 bags were just butted up against each other, resting on the hole, and they would not fall. And I was like, what's going on here, Mike?
Right.
And he was like, dude, you got to get them really broken in, then they become, a lot more hole friendly once they get looser and stuff. I was like, okay, I could see it. And I have them broken pretty darn well. And they did get more friendly. I will say that 100% they got more friendly, but it's just a combination of materials and speeds. I mean, that's just,
you want to know, just went through my head, okay, so World Championship last year, the Baggate thing. And now it's coming out in the Wall Street Journal, apparently, in this week. They're making a Baggate article. But, so, I think we talked about this in the podcast. I said that there's 2 options for manufacturers.
Yes, you did talk about this. Yep.
They either make it so it's legal off the line and then gets illegal when people break it in and throw it a ton because there's nothing you can
do. Or make it illegal initially and legal when they're broken in.
Correct. And this feels like the bag that once I throw it and nuke the hell out of it, it's going to be legal and off the line of some other company's carpet bags.
Yep.
Right? Where I'm just right now I'm I couldn't throw this. But if you gave me someone who threw it for 150 games, I bet you I could throw it. And I bet you would stretch out a little bit. The grind is Viking materials, Viking slow, Viking fast, 4-7 speed. And obviously I haven't given these. I mean, I've broken them in and I've thrown them, but I haven't given them tons of time. I even think still, even after really, really broken in, it's still a little bit small for my personal taste, just personally.
For sure.
I just like a slightly floppier bag. Even my carpet, my Avalanche is a bigger bag. It's just how I like it. But if you're, again, a Viking thrower, Pink Dolphin even, some of them that were a little smaller, if you get these fully broken in, they'll probably play very similar to that. NFQ dope.
They're going to play a lot more similar to a Dolphin.
Right.
Vikings are a lot more active.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
With the fill in these, it's just not going to...
Same materials as active. Pink Dolphin, same fill.
You can do what you want to do with them. Right. It's just, they're definitely... I guess Pink Dolphin's actually a really good comparison.
Apparently, it's just the Dolphin now.
Yes, it's just Dolphin.
They took the pink off.
I guess. I don't know why.
I liked Pink Dolphin. But...
I did too.
What kind of pull do we have? We're just 2 random dudes on the internet. What do we know? We ain't know. We got no information. But
I got nothing.
So I would say off the line, broken in, just expect smaller bag, smaller, slightly puffier bag.
Yeah, it's really funny you say that. I literally just put them onto the Nomad, and I'm like, there's a very noticeable size difference.
Yes, there is.
And the Nomads are brand new; they're not even broken in yet, and the grind is very broken in, and they're still smaller than the Nomad.
Are decently, they're broken in similarly, and my Nomads are like a good 1/8 inch bigger. I mean,
yeah, mine are too, and the grind is just puffier. I mean, once those materials really stretch out, then it's not going to be as puffy. But I mean,
I still don't think it's going to get to the Nomad size though. It's just going to be slightly relaxeder.
It's not going to.
Which is not a word, but makes sense in the context.
Slightly relaxeder.
Correct, but you know what I mean. More relaxed. Sorry, it's late at night. Corbin made me wait till after we've been sitting at home all day, and
he's so full of crap. It's like 8:45 his time right now.
Yeah, I mean that's late for me.
Yeah,
I'm an early sleeper.
No kids, nothing else. You are so full of it. Oh my god.
I'm a busy guy, Corbin. All right, you know.
Yeah, I will give you that. You are a busy guy.
I know, and Corbin's freaking just sitting at home lounging all day, does nothing.
All day, every day, dude.
I don't even think he's been working for the last 6 months.
You kidding me? No, I hardly work at all.
Yeah, right.
I just use it as an excuse.
I think I've called Corbin on 6 straight Saturdays, and he goes, "Hey, I'm working. What's up?" And I'm like, "Does this dude ever not work on Saturday?"
Hey, fun fact: call me on Sundays. Same answer.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
I don't have a weekend off till Christmas.
Call me on Wednesdays. Same answer. Not working.
I called you the other day and you didn't answer. So
no, you did not.
Yes, I did.
We'll have this conversation after. I never miss calls.
That is not true.
Guys, we're having a therapy session here in the middle of the Buffalo.
We kind of are.
But either way, grind puffier.
We kind of are.
Puffier pink dolphin disc fill.
Oh, look at that! October 27th at 10:52 a.m.
God, he's actually doing it. Let's take a quick
I would have showed it, but
it's
got your phone number on there, so you know.
Yeah, I don't know if I want everyone having that.
Oh well, that's pretty good. That I can
call. Why'd you call me?
Told you I was driving, bro. Yeah, at 10 a.m. I thought I waited long enough for you. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah, definitely was sleeping if it was 10 a.m. I thought it was 10 p.m. I'm like, I would have been awake.
No, it was 10 a.m. I was driving somewhere.
Not up.
I was driving somewhere for work.
Oh,
so
that makes way more sense. I was like,
it's cool, whatever.
I probably thought it was my alarm and hit snooze.
No, you didn't even ignore it. You just didn't answer it.
Yeah, well, it's a better ignore.
All right, next bag.
All right, next bag. We got the hype. So I didn't actually get the hype. I obviously could have an opinion on the hype because I know what it is. But Corbin has the hype, or had the hype, and has reviewed the hype.
Yep.
So opinions on the hype.
Yeah, hype is one of those tough ones for me. And Eddie and I feel the same about it.
Well, let me start with the material first. So
go ahead.
We'll call it a 5.5 8-speed. They call it a 4.8, which I think is off. I'd say it's very commonly called a 6.8. It's the same as the Black Sheep Vandalize, the Psycho X, the Big Daddy Carnage, what else uses this material?
Oh man, there's more. There's so many more.
Whatever. But it's that linen 6-speed slow slide that you fell in the Psycho X or Carnage or Minnesota Tailgate Nova. It's all the same. And then Surefire Fast Side. So that 8-speed normal fast side. So this is the only bag of the entire new ones that uses the fast side still. And I think that's because this is the first time they've used this slow side. So they're like, all right, cool. We'll get in the market of this bag that everyone else has already gotten in the market in. We don't need to do this random pairing of middling speed materials for this one. So, So let's go ahead on your opinion.
So the hype. The problem.
And give 2 opinions. 1, your opinion of the hype, and 2, your opinion of this material combo. Because I don't want because I think those are 2 different things.
Going with that.
Yeah, I think
that's fair. Things. So the hype itself is a good bag. The fill combo, the materials, it works well. It is actually the one bag it's probably similar to like Crush template, Crush and Nomad.
Okay. So I like it.
Very similar to those templates. So a little bit larger, not quite as big as like Psycho X, stuff like that.
Middling, kind of Vandalizes-ish.
Vandalize-ish for sure. I mean, middle of the road template. The fill was really nice in it. It played actually really well. I like that Buffalo did that. And I think that they put the 8 fast side on there because other speeds don't make sense.
Correct.
They just don't. I mean, Mother Truckers does the 9. Well, yeah. And because then you have a possibly 6.6 bag.
Because then you got a puffball 6.6,
Yes. Mother Truckers has the 9.89. They do the same slow side and they do the Viking fast side.
Right.
It's not the best combo. Yeah. It's just not the most ideal combo. It hangs up a lot, whatever.
Right.
But
getting it's into those crazy soft. It's like a pillowcase soft. I mean, it's
they're
like
stupid
soft.
I mean, it's kind of cool, but whatever. Getting into the materials themselves, I can't stand that slow side. The slow side, I mean, you could literally call it a 3 to a 7 depending on the day.
Agreed.
It's just it. Man,
I would say I've talked to some players that throw the Widow X that are ultra sponsored players that when the boards are right, they're like, and even the Psycho X, when the boards are right, they play really, really well. But
I completely agree.
It's the same thing as Surefire to me. When the boards are right, they play perfect. If the boards are a little faster, they're too fast. And if the boards are a little slower, they're a glue stick and they hang a lot. Mm-hmm. And this material is like nigh the same. I'd say it's a tick faster in terms of the transition period time from Surefire, but it's the same kind of thing. Like especially Psycho X, that's that bigger bag, which is like, if it starts to get sticky at all, you'll get 3/4 of the bag in the hole, and that thing will sit on the hole.
It'll just sit there.
And that's just the thing with the slow side. I understand why they made this bag. It's a very popular material.
I do too.
It's been taking over I'd say the end of last season to the beginning of this season, a lot of companies came out with that bag. I think, the Psycho X turned out to be pretty popular amongst the ultra pros and amongst like some consumers. So companies tried to start doing it. And granted, the Carnage kind of did it first, but they don't have as big of a presence. But personally, the more that I've thrown the bag, I'm just like, I'd rather throw Carpet or Surefire, and then if it's too sticky, I'd rather just throw Costello Pro Sniper and skip this little middling road that I don't like.
Well, like you're saying, the conditions have to be absolutely perfect, and then it's like that for what, 1 to 2 games,
15 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I mean,
you get a game, maybe 2 out of it, and you're going to be struggling at the end of that second game.
Right.
So it really
a lot of people I
depends.
see throw it are like, here's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand. If you throw a bag down the middle, it'll go in. I don't care if it's full of BBs, if it's made of sandpaper, if it's a plastic bag, if it's a trash bag. I don't care what it is. If you throw it down the middle, probably going to go in.
Oh, Sub-Zero then?
Yeah, exactly. Every single one of my bags, if you throw it down the middle, it'll go in.
I was saying trash bags, but it's fine.
I get where you're going.
Okay.
I just avoided that.
I just had to really make that clear to the viewer.
Thank you.
So.
Appreciate it. But the caveat to that is just because a lot of people can make a Psycho X in the hole, I don't think it makes it a good bag. Because all the players that are making that in the hole every time, if you give them a Pro Sniper, they're going to make all those in the hole too.
They're going to do it too.
And they're probably going to make... It's my same argument when I see people not transitioning from bags that are starting to hang. It's like, yeah, you might make 16 in a row because you have a really flat bag and it's right in the middle. But then that one round that 3 years hung and you gave up a 6, guess what? If you threw a faster bag, it would, like, not faster, but slightly less hanging bag just for the position change, it wouldn't do that. Like you like people have this like causation mentality where it's like, oh, well, I've been winning all day with these. Like, I've been throwing so good. And then I just got unlucky. And I'm like, no, it's just the conditions changed. And you stopped
conditions
throwing it
changed
perfect.
And you didn't adapt.
Exactly. Yep. And so that is my problem with this material. I just think sometimes it's great. But when I reviewed the Widow X, the boards were a little fast. Granted, they were super hole friendly. I wasn't laying blocks with them. And if I missed the hole, they're behind the hole or off, right?
Yep.
So it's like they're a little too quick. But then any stickier than that, I'm going to be airmail dragging because half my bag's going to be hanging in the hole half the time. So it's like, I just think that material...
And pushes are hard. I think that slow side is so thin and it's just so pliable that it's actually hard to push because your bag just goes... It just crunches up, and instead of the momentum going through, it just squishes up and sits there.
Dude, and from experience sewing this material, when my garage is warm and there's humidity on my sewing machine... I can't move it.
That's hilarious.
It sticks to the sewing machine. So,
that's funny.
Like this material, just like Surefire, it gets sticky. It's really soft, really thin. Plus, like not a lot of people talk about this. If you get a set in the mail from any company, especially a black colored set, this material like frays. It's really soft. It's got these soft vertical and horizontal lines.
Yeah, I've seen those posts.
That's not the manufacturer's fault. It's just this material. And like this material is very prone to over time falling apart. It's super thin. and super soft. And like I just have a feeling like you catch this thing on a piece of wood or a nail, like off the side of the board, it just rip it with my hands. I mean, it's so thin. So, I mean, it's a great material. A lot of people probably like this bag if you like Psycho X's and you want something a little bit smaller, some Carnage-esque, and you're a Buffalo guy, and it's a good bag. Yeah. So the hype. So it makes sense that they made it. You know, a lot of people have been making it.
I get it. I mean, and I like that they at least threw that 8 fast side into one of the new lines.
Right. I agree. I think that definitely is needed. I'm not a big fan of 989s, so
100%.
All right, last bag, Crush.
Yes, sir.
When I say this is my second favorite, it's still too close for me. But of all the bags, because granted I didn't try the hype, I think the hype might have been my favorite of the
What color are yours?
Gold.
Oh, they gave you like all gold. I got all colorful stuff.
I know. I want that. That was cool too. But granted, I like gold a lot too, but I like all colors.
I do too.
I like
the gold is pretty cool. I like the flashy stuff.
So, Crush. You're looking at Cat 3 slow side, Widow fast side, Galaxy Conspiracy slow side, 724 WMD slow side. It's the back side of Viking with the front side of Viking on the other side. So 6-7 is the material. And if you want to disagree with me, are yours broken in yet?
No, they're not.
Okay, then that's why you can't disagree with me. Because when you break it in, it feels a lot like Pro Sniper slow side until you break.
And I'm not disagreeing. I was just questioning.
Once you break it in, it's
simply questioning.
Way softer, and it doesn't get the pattern that Pro Sniper slow side does. Because they feel very similar, brand new.
Yeah, for sure. It's got that little waxiness to it. And yes, I haven't broke these in yet either.
Pro Snipers.
Yeah, they typically are. I guess they're a little stiffer, waxier.
Like these are. I mean, I don't know if it's so much softer, and it doesn't get that really big pattern to it.
That makes sense.
So 6-7 speed bag, disc fill, $100. Kind of the same story, man. It's like the Cat 3 slow side for me. It's a faster bag. But like, why would I ever use the fast side? It's like the same thing,
right?
So it's like I'm throwing the soul. Granted, okay, like the perk I'll give it, template, fill. It's in that medium range. Best handhold for me. Compare this and the Nomad were the two best handles for me. And you could probably even tell unbroken in that it's just that nicer medium template feel.
Oh, it's a much better template. Yep.
Disc fill obviously feels good. So best hand fill for me of the bunch other than the Nomad, which is why my first review that's coming out is of the Nomad and the Crush together. Because I was like, I might as well start with
there you go.
that I really like.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But it's just, and even in my review, I think I said like I was throwing the slow side, and then I was like, people all the time are like, oh, you need to flip over and throw the fast side. So I'm like, I'm going to throw the fast side. And it plays the same as the slow side. Like, it's the same kind of shot. I still got to loft it a little bit. They're both on the quicker side. But I mean, it's a hole friendly bag. It's just I don't have any problems throwing it in terms of like I threw a lot in the hole. They play good. It's more so for me if I have a choice of a bag I'm going to throw and I really love this slow side, I'm just going to throw a faster fast side. That's all it is for me. It's not it's not that this bag's bad. It's just that I just don't think it's versatile enough for a push side. It's like, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just flicking a bag. I wasn't getting your attention. I wasn't like raising my hand, like, sir.
Yeah, sir. Can I say something, please,
sir? No, but if I'm getting the floor, then I will go ahead.
Sure.
I mean, we basically have the same consensus on a lot of it. Like Buffalo came out with a ton of new stuff, which is great. They filled that void of slower stuff that they didn't quite have before, which is cool. It makes perfect sense. Yeah. For us in particular, we would like a slightly faster side on basically every bag. Aside from the Nomad, I'll give the Nomad as it sits. I can see the Nomad being awesome. But I mean, especially with this one, I mean, you could almost have like a Costello if you just use that 8 fast here.
Well,
because I know it's not Pro Sniper slow.
It'd be like a Cat 3 flipped kind of.
Essentially, which would be kind of an awesome bag.
Saying. This is the first time they've ever used this material.
It really would.
If this is the first time they've ever used this, I wish they just used Deadhead Fast and just made a Cat 3 if you're gonna make this bag.
Yeah, I guess that would have been fine too. I think they just kind of had a thing about going overly fast on stuff. I think they figured they were saturated with faster stuff and just decided to go on the slow market.
I'm curious where they got. Let's see. the opinions or reviews from players or maybe requests on speeds, because in my opinion, Buffalo's line was pretty good in terms of they had carpet bags, they had Fallout X, they had M1 slower carpet, then they had
ambushes,
they had friendly carpet, they had deadhead, then they had the fast bag with ambush. So it was kind of like they had like a lot of bags that were already really good in the range. I'd say, okay, adding the hype makes sense. You want to get in that, Psycho X market.
I can see throwing Fury in there.
Right. Adding Nomad makes sense. You kind of want that deadhead with the slower fast side. Because I can see.
Maybe not Fury, though. Because you have Fallout X. You don't really need Fury with that.
I could see maybe you want to get in the Warlock market. Maybe it was popular when they were starting the testing kind of thing.
So that's where it's like, as we're talking about it, we're like, that doesn't really make sense. But then we're like, well, you could throw this in there, and then it kind of makes sense. So
I definitely can make a case for.
I get it.
Hype, Nomad, Fury, maybe Splash if they really wanted to try out that new. I would have really liked to see that new synthetic carpet with the faster fast side, just because it could be like a fast, like a ambush option, but for a guy that likes a carpet feeling bag in their hand.
Sure.
I think that could have been cool. But then I think the Instinct and the Fury, maybe the Instinct being on the really, really slow end. So that one kind of makes sense. I'd say the ones that are...
I don't mind the Instinct.
I guess the Splash is a bit confusing for me, and the Crush, and the Grind kind of. The Grind kind of makes sense,
I'm with you on Grind. I think they were doing well with Fallout X, Conflict.
I think they wanted to try that Viking carpet. I just think it's... too puffy for me.
But like you got M1 Fallout X and
but M1 uses that hybrid. Fallout X uses the herringbone, so I think they wanted to use that Viking carpet. Try that out.
I know. Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of Viking carpet, so
true.
That's part of it. But I mean I can make a case for all of them, but I can pick bags similarly that I'd rather throw.
Right. Yeah,
like,
I think
even from their line is what I'm saying, like from Buffalo.
Oh yeah. I think it's just I think every single one of these bags, bar the Nomad, because that's the only time that I'm like, all right, I'm not going to throw a deadhead because the fast side's too fast. Someone likes slower fast.
Sure.
I get that.
Sure.
I just like that faster fast side, so I'm going to throw M1, like Fallout X, deadhead, ambush. I'm going to already throw all those, and I think and maybe if you're a diehard Buffalo guy, you got all their bags. That's your lineup. That's what you throw. I could see throwing the hype in there, I guess, if you want something between deadhead and ambush.
I could see it.
But other than that, I don't necessarily know if they're trying to attract new players or give their old players something that they didn't have before. I think all these bags, I'll call them niche. I think there's they're very niche, and they fit a very small market of someone who wants a specific feeling, tight, slow bag that has disc fill. It's just kind of a niche for me, and I definitely think from a Buffalo standpoint, I don't think we're going to see the Deadhead, Ambush, and Fallout X dethroned in their lineup by any of these bags.
No,
I think they already were. I think these bags dogs.
They'll do fine, but there's not going to be anything like, oh my gosh, this is the new staple.
Correct.
They're gonna sell. They're gonna do well because they
really
are
like that Psycho X.
Yeah, but you know how that bag is.
I mean, that's just but a lot of people like that bag, so I can.
A lot of people do love it.
I'm trying to talk or subjectively, Corbin.
I know that's just hard for me because I'm always. I know it well, and I'm always right, so it's tough to be subjective.
Right. God, sir, 3.6K.
Well, welcome to life. Welcome to life, sir.
I'm always right.
It's all about organic growth, man. You can get as big as you want, but it's not going to last.
I don't care either, so
I don't either. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, right. No, I mean it's just I think they're all going to do well. They did a good job with all that. I mean, I really like designs on literally all of them.
Right.
I think they did a really good job with that. I think they're all going to sell. I just don't think they're going to have any like, oh my gosh, this is our new number one bag. It's what you're going to know when you see Buffalo. Kind of like Deadhead is essentially. I mean, you see like Buffalo's Deadheads or Amber, for sure. Like
or Fallout X.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadheads for sure. Deadheads is like
I see them everywhere.
The bag.
Everywhere.
So, right.
Everywhere.
And the design's super cool. And I think that's what on
they're cool.
That's what matters. And anyone listening to this, I don't want you to think we're not saying any of these bags are bad. I think we're not crapping on Buffalo at all. We're just very much nitpicking about the use cases and the trying to understand possibly the scenarios that it would be thrown. Just because, I mean, we're in a world now that there's, just Pro Stand, probably 400 bags, 400 bags of all these different companies. So it's like we're trying to give you guys all the information of what you should pick, right? And I definitely think if you show up to a blind round and someone pulled out a set of crushes that they had nuked that they love, but you throw them great. I'm not telling you won't. I'm just saying if I only get to pick one Buffalo bag to throw, this probably isn't the one that I pick. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to play great, Yep. And I do like I like that they use this slow side for the first time. Buffalo, make a slow side with deadhead fast side. Make a cat 3.
Just do that.
I think it would play really good. Or use it with a Surefire fast side with a M1 fast side because I don't think anybody's actually done that yet.
That'd be tight too.
Now I need to make a set of those tomorrow. See how those play.
There you go. That'd be sweet. That would actually be pretty nice.
But no, I mean, appreciate Buffalo for sending us all these bags to review. You'll be seeing individual videos for all these in the coming future. I think a lot of our opinions, you'll just see us say like, hey, the bag plays great, just a little bit too close in speed range for a good amount of these for me and Corbin personally. A lot of people like that. I mean, I didn't think after I tried the Warlock, I didn't think anyone was ever going to throw the Warlock because it was too close in speeds. A lot of people threw the Warlock.
They're still popular. Yeah.
So like it goes to show that it's about what do certain people like? What are they used to? What do they try throwing? I think widows are bad. People love widows. It's just it's all personal preference in this game, and these are just like six count them 6 more options that you have from Buffalo Boards. So I think their lineup. I see them struggling other than making a cat 3. I see them struggling to come out with any other bags that would fill a gap that they don't already have filled. People ask me all the time, I don't know if you get this question, what do you think the next big material is going to be? Especially with me starting my own.
Oh, I don't get that.
With me starting my backup, they're like, have you found any materials yet that are going to be like the next thing? And I'm like, it's hard to make the next thing, dude. Like, we got every speed range covered.
Yeah.
Like, what else are you looking for? I mean, granted, I just made the Wintertide that's got somewhat Viper R.
That's what I was just going to say. Look at Viper R. Like, what's the next thing? And it's like, I don't know, like maybe another 6.9 bag.
Right. I mean, like Viper R plays great, but at the end of the day, it's like just another bag that's like hole friendly that happens to be carpet, I guess.
Sure.
I mean,
I think that's the incredible part about Viper R is that, it's some carpet that non-carpet throwers have no problem throwing.
Right. Or Sorcerer, Samurai fast side. I'm saying like that fast side, no one's ever used before.
Oh yeah. Shapeshifter fast is sweet.
So like, I mean, there is people still finding materials. From experience,
and they still will.
It's very hard to find materials that don't play the exact same as other materials.
Yeah, or durable enough, or
durable. Durability is actually a huge thing. I mean,
it's huge.
That Viper R carpet, people don't realize. I mean, like I wish you could feel. Maybe I'll probably won't throw them. I might ship you my Viper Rs just to feel them. You can't. I promise you couldn't throw them. They're like, you can't.
I can't throw them.
You can't grip them.
Oh, like they're just so floppy
and
destroyed.
They're so gone. Like it's like beyond series Viper. Like I can't even hold the dang thing. It's crazy. Like I fabric shaved them 3 times because they kept like falling apart. Basically, I mean they're just like gone. So that material, that softer carpet, it's gonna wear down over time. So I mean, it's tough to find durability stuff and whatnot, but. Yeah, I think there's a lot of really good bags here. Shout out Buffalo for all the work that they're doing. I definitely think they had their obviously huge moment in the sun with the Deathhead getting crazy, but they're definitely still pumping out awesome products with awesome designs. And
at the very least, I like that they're willing to try something new.
Right.
They're trying a new material that they haven't really used before. They're finding combinations with it. I can respect that.
They tried 6 things they didn't do before. That's a lot of commitment.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of bags, man. It's like
that's a lot of bags.
So yeah, big shout out to Buffalo for that. But
absolutely,
that's all for me. You got anything else?
I'm pretty good, man.
All right. Well, Buffalo Boards, definitely check them out. BuffaloBoards.com, I believe, for all their stuff. But appreciate you guys stopping by for another video. A little Buffalo spotlight about all their lines. Shout out to Buffalo for shipping us this stuff to review. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and rest of your week. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.